What's up, guys? Welcome back to our daily trade analysis. Last Friday or last Thursday, I think we talked. I said that if we go over 5,000, we're pretty bullish, and we did. We have been over the 5,000 area mark. We had a nice back test on Friday over here, and then we continued to move up higher, tested the top a little bit, came back down. So overall, been pretty choppy as we expected because we did have a huge move up here, right? So I'll go a little bit more into what we think is going to happen tomorrow as well. But before we do that, let's dive into the signals that happened today. So this morning we have some pretty good signals. We had a 9:30 triple sell signal, which is a B plus setup, and that was over here. So market open, had triple sell signal. They tried to shake us out, essentially fail. If you have a good stop loss, you wouldn't have been shaken out there. Things around started around where was it 55.60s. It went as high as 55.79s. Actually, that was a pretty tough push there. But as you can see, it did eventually come back down here, and then we even drop as far as 5 minute MOB here, right? Almost there. And then 10:30 a.m. we have market structure flipping bearish, and that's always a good signal. We love that signal. So market structure flipping bearish here, because it detected all these massive selling volume, and what that means is that if you see a rip, a move up, you want to short it. So this is what you call good opportunity here. Move up to short. And same thing here. We had triple sell signal and it just kept moving up. And for me, that was just a good opportunity to get a better entry. And then as you can see, eventually we dropped a lot. We went from 55.60 to as low as 51.14. That's about 45 points drop there, right? And then we even went as low as 54.90s from 55.60. So that's a 70-point move. Humongous drop. And then 12.35, we had a buy signal. What was that? That was around this range here. Let me see how that play out. I don't recall playing that, so yeah, that was a pretty good signal. So that was around here. And 55.07, we went as high as 55.17, so at least 10-point move there. If you took that play, depending on where you get it, you might even gotten a better entry too. So that's a pretty good move, and that kind of signaled the early part of some buyers stepping in. And then at 2 p.m. we had the X3 buy signal, so that was somewhere around here. And this kind of makes sense because we're crossing back above these moving averages here. So that means these previous resistance now is no longer resistance breaking through, right? And then 2 p.m. by 2 p.m. we broke over the red moving average here. We chopped a little bit to consolidate, and then next leg up. So by 2:30, market structure had flipped bullish. So that was around here, right? And that pretty much tells you any dip you see in this area, you want to buy. And look what happened at the end of the day. Since market structure flipped bullish, we just crushed right through the 1 minute MOB and we end up pushing to almost top of the day. Right? And now this became resistance again. So pretty good day. Good signals. Things worked out pretty well. Let's see what we think is gonna happen in the next day. Okay, so we're kind of setting a little bit of a top here. Maybe a trend possible. Would have been nice if we backtest the 48-minute MOB here, but that didn't happen today. We did test that on Friday, which was an amazing buying opportunity. If you guys know how to play that, like waiting for that backtested MOB, beautiful setup there. Was looking for that today as well because we had the MOB and another moving average there as well. 48-minute looks like it's a little bit toppy. 195 is still pretty strong. 390 is still pretty strong. We have also just been rejecting off the daily resistance here as well, which is 55.63. This is where we're at right now. We're at 55.60, so we're struggling to break through. I guess at this point, if we can't climb over this area, then we'll probably move back down here, kind of like this, right? But I wouldn't be bearish unless we break under the 48-minute MOB. So I will say this is like the line in the sand to be bearish. So we have to completely lose 54.70s. We have to completely lose 54.70s to be bearish. So I'll write that down. We need to lose 54.70 to be bearish. Above 5,500, like, we're still bullish. So as long as we're above this, we're bullish. I I don't see any other way right now. 390 is still pretty strong. Weekly is still pretty strong. I don't expect us to really get bearish until maybe Wednesday. We could see a push to the 97 MOB, but that hasn't really been a problem before. The only other problem could be this 56.72. That's where I would look for shorts there. So I hope that helps. Good luck and have a great day tomorrow. And keep tuning back for more of these.